Hey, we are Oh Wonder.
And you are watching Ambi.
Hey everybody, it's the interview queen Alicia Atout here, and I am very excited to have two lovely people by my side once again. It's Oh Wonder.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
How have you two been?
We've been
Good.
great.
It's been a while since we've spoken to you.
How have you been?
I can't complain. Things have been going very well, and it seems to be the same way for you two.
Yeah, it's been a crazy time since we've seen you. Amazing, yeah.
We were kind of reflecting before the camera started rolling. The last time I did see you both, we were freezing at the Danforth Music Hall. It was definitely below zero.
Oh, I just remember being like...
Shaking through the whole interview.
I'm really happy to be here.
We were searching the whole venue for places to do it. There was nowhere, and these two were like such champs. They're like, you know what? We can do it outside.
I think we just underestimated Canada's freezing conditions.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys came better dressed this time, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
You learned?
Loosely.
I like that. You're like, not really.
I mean, I'm wearing furry shoes and it's raining, so I've really not smashed the weather code, but...
I mean, I live here and I wore heels, so it really wasn't the best choice, but, we'll make do. Now enough talk about the weather. I have something I really need to know, and that's, have you ever found out where to get a good donut? Because I feel like you've been on the hunt lately.
You know what? I had a great donut yesterday. I went to Donuts in New York, which was amazing. Toronto, I need some suggestions. We have about 3 hours before we leave tonight.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and my
cram in
main
some
objective
donuts.
is to squeeze in a donut.
Okay, well, I have to ask, have you done Timmy Ho's, like Tim Hortons?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Timbits.
I know it's typical, I know it's more
good,
a brand,
it's good.
but like their donuts are actually...
They're good?
And the holes.
The Timbits.
Timbits.
Oh,
That's where it's at.
That's what I meant, yeah.
The holes.
The holes!
And actually, they're not holes, they're the bit that go in the holes. What do you call
circles.
them? The middles.
the
Spheres.
middles.
Timbits.
Spherical donuts.
Yeah.
I think all of those work, but
Yeah.
Timbits. Now, one thing that bands always tell me when they're on the road is they either eat super well or you're just eating crap, like junk, the entire time. So do you sway one way or the other?
We try to go health.
Keyword
because
try.
We try. But when you're in like southern states of America, that can be quite tough.
Right.
Because also you need to get on stage and have some energy. So we're thinking meat before stage is a bad idea a lot of the time.
Oh, it's a terrible idea, yeah. You get meat sweats anyway, so like
Oh,
couple that.
thanks.
meat
Glad that's
sweats.
on camera.
Couple that with a show, and then you're just like, no, we eat really well. I think I have to, just because otherwise I'd just burn out and get really sick,
Right.
You find sushi wherever you go. It's quite a talent.
I eat sushi like 3 times a day.
I love it. I'm obsessed. It's weird. That's kind of my go-to when I've been feeling sick lately.
Really?
And most people are like, why would you eat sushi when you're
Yeah,
sick? Like, that's
that's
just
weird.
weird. It's strange, but it never
soy
phases
sauce.
me.
Yeah, okay. I don't see soy sauce as like a remedy.
No, but somehow
you do you.
it works, right?
You do,
I love how sushi's the go-to, though. Do you have one when you're on the road?
What, for a remedy or just
Just
perfect
food in general.
You eat like so many burritos
I eat a lot of ramen,
and a lot of ramen.
which I always regret. As soon as I have ramen, I'm like, why did I eat ramen?
Because that broth fills you.
It does.
so
Yeah.
It's filling.
It's so good.
so good.
Now, 2020 is going to be an amazing time for you two. A lot of anticipation, a lot of buzz, a lot of just waiting on the fan side of things because No One Else Can Wear Your Crown is officially going to be coming out in February. So this is just killing you inside, kind of holding the secret. Not everyone has heard all the tracks yet.
Yeah, it's really, really tricky. We finished the record like in June. So then, obviously, when we were like working out when to release it, and we decided on February. I was like, man, that's so long away, and I've been so close to leaking it. Like,
Really?
Like, really close. Like, you're really close. It's actually all on a SoundCloud page somewhere. I think, just like
Oh, yeah.
Is it actually?
it
It's,
actually
like,
is. I'm just
really
waiting for
easy
someone to
it.
find it. Yeah.
I mean, there was a little tidbit then for you fans.
oh no, there's people like avidly searching.
Hit up SoundCloud, right?
But yeah, we're so excited to release new music. It's been a like 2 years since we put out a new tune.
Right.
So we've got like loads of songs that we really love because we've lived with them for like a year and we're just so ready to share them now. Yeah.
And the excitement of not only having a new album, but it's the fact that the new tracks on that record you can actually play live. Like,
Yeah.
it just reinvents your set list completely, and it actually, gives it more liveliness.
Definitely. We were able to literally release the album and then get on tour 2 weeks later
Yeah.
and play it. It's going to be
Except
really cool.
one of our big plans has backfired already.
What was that?
So we're trying to work through, so we love North America. It's like our favorite place to tour. And we've done a bunch of shows here in Canada. But in the US, we've only done something like 43 states.
Only.
So I know. So like our main
Troublesome.
goal is to like try and hit but it's places like Hawaii and
What's Alaska, Hawaii? That's
Yeah, they're really hard. And then there's Nebraska. We've never played a show in Nebraska. So on this album, we've written a song called Nebraska. There's a song, like literally that's why we've done it, hoping that Nebraska would invite us to do a show. And they haven't. So
I feel like we actually wrote that song from a good place, but not from a marketing pitch to go to Nebraska.
No, we fully did. And they haven't listened to us. So yeah. That's backfired already.
Just want to be big in Nebraska.
Yeah,
man.
that's my main goal.
Big in Nebraska. Well, I'm glad you brought up Nebraska because you've mentioned before how that is one of the most heartfelt tracks on the album, and you really did just put your heart into it completely. Like, it's very personal.
Yeah.
So is it hard breaking down those walls and sharing something that is so personal? Because you never know how fans are going to take it.
Yeah, that's true. This album is like it's probably the most personal album we've ever made. I think before we were writing a lot of songs about characters that we'd invent or like family and friends, and now we're like, we should write about how we feel because, you know, songwriting is a form of therapy and it's so joyful to be able to process how you're feeling and then put that into song and then share it with people in the hope that maybe it will comfort them or help them see, I don't know, that the listener see something in a different way, I guess. So yeah, Nebraska they're all so personal. I'm like really nervous that people are going to just because it's like quite I've never been in this position. Maybe you have written songs before that are like really, and they're like explicitly personal. Like the latest song, I Wish I Never Met You. Like it does what it says on the tin. It's like, hi, I've got trust issues. I wish I'd never met you. But I'm into it. I'm great. No?
Going with it.
Yeah.
I'm sure the fans will be feeling it too.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope I'm not alone. Yeah.
Now, a big part of the album is the fact that people just need to live their own lives, not really get into people's business too much and just, you know, be yourself, wear your own crown. So where did that idea come from? Were you kind of going through something yourself, or is this stuff online where you were like, oh, people can suck sometimes, like just do your own thing?
You really can, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think we grew up around it a lot. When you're younger, like we were trying to make it as musicians from when we were like, 14, 15, we started touring, and there's just a lot of people along the way who kind of want to ruin it for you a little bit, and are just like, oh, you shouldn't do that, you should do something else because you're not that good at that. So for us to now look back and just say F you to all those people is quite a good feeling.
Yeah. And you don't have to be the best at something. I think we live in this world that like really, I don't know, focuses on being the best person. But if I wouldn't be doing music if that was the case, because I'd be like, well, Beyonce exists and I'm not as good as her, so I might as well just give up. So comparison is completely the thief of joy, right? And so I don't know, I'm like, I'm on your thing of like, you just have to, I don't know, celebrate your own success in your own way, not in an arrogant way, but in like a look after yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's something that I deal with all the time. It's like you announce something that's a huge milestone, and then there's always people who tear it down. Then you have your supporters at the same time. And I'm sure even with this album, like there are tweets that I've seen where it's like, oh yeah, it's going to be like the best thing ever. And then there's always that one asshole who's like, oh, this is going to suck. Who knows what's going to happen? Yeah. So how do you deal with it now when you see it? Is it more so, like you said, just water off a duck's back?
Yeah, I tend to like not read it, and if I read it, I'm like, no, it's just opinion, and it's absolutely fine, because I know that we've done our best.
Yes, that's the crucial
thing. As long as you're like happy with what you've done, you've been honest and how you've done it. I think it's not down to you anymore.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's exciting to see how many people are so stoked to see you on tour. So I was curious though, we know that people love watching you live, but for you, what was the first concert that you ever went to?
Oh.
Time to reminisce.
Wow.
Like I saw like loads of boy bands, like Five and.
Me too.
Yeah, like.
Were Five a thing over here? Were they
Boys.
American? Five.
Everybody
get up, sing out.
What?
Big tune.
Big tune.
Yeah, amazing.
And like, did you guys have Blue over here? Did they make it over here? Blue?
No,
Not
I think
that I
Blue,
didn't.
no.
Blue were like, I like the boy band thing. And then my first official gig was Hardfire.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Hardfire, great.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Are they still
I
a
was
thing,
like 14.
Hardfire?
I don't know if they're still together.
I feel like I've just
they had like
insulted
Living
them
for the
if they're
Weekend
still
and stuff, right?
That's it.
Such
That
a good
was
tune.
16 years ago, guys. Just throwing that out there.
No.
Yep, I
Don't
saw
say
them
that.
16 years ago.
Wow.
Wow.
What?
When you were 33.
Look at me now. How that time flies. What was your first gig?
Do you remember the Lighthouse Family?
No, you didn't see them.
I've seen them loads. Yeah. Yeah, and I saw Whitney Houston when I was a kid.
Sorry.
Did
My
you?
parents were quite cool.
You saw
And Elton John. You saw Elton John as well.
Yeah, but you saw Whitney Houston live.
And
How old were
Gabrielle.
you?
I would have been like 13.
Oh, wow. Those are like really good first gigs.
That's unbelievable. What was
Really
yours?
good.
I was 3 when I saw Spice Girls.
No, you weren't.
Yeah.
3?
My mom took me and she was like, you know, you might not remember all of it, but this will just be something you can kind of talk about and enjoy.
Unbelievable.
I remember I still have my merch from that show. Doesn't fit, but I still got it.
That'd be really weird.
Girls, like a nightie, like a, what did you call them, a nightie?
Yeah,
like a night
yeah.
dress, which I had when I was like 8, and it now fits me as a t-shirt. Though.
Adorable.
It's like a crop top.
That's what I've done too. Like I grew up listening to a lot of emo bands and stuff. And my first real gig I'd like to say I went to, where I kind of chose to, was Taking Back Sunday, The Used, and Blink-182.
Oh my God,
And
they're so cool.
Those
you
little,
are so cool.
Well, thank you. But that shirt now is like a crop top. But I will never get rid of it ever.
Oh my God, you've seen Blink live?
Yep. Yeah.
Have you not?
No, you've
No.
seen Blink and you've seen Whitney. Who have
no,
I
you haven't
seen?
seen-
Who are the bands that you
Blink-182.
like need to see before either they, decide to disband or?
Oh, that's true. Do you remember Under Oath?
Yes, I've interviewed Under Oath. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing them. Are they still a band?
Yep.
Wow.
Stop saying that about bands.
Well, they've been
Are
going
they
like
still around?
a long time.
Oh, okay.
They've been around for a very long time.
Yeah, I supported Taking Back Sunday when I was a kid. When I was an emo kid.
I had them on. It was 2 weeks ago.
No.
Yeah, 2
Adam
weeks back.
Lazzara.
He sat in the interview. Same with John, and I just it was so hard for me to not lose it because, especially when you listen to a lot of emo music, like as you
Yeah.
said, like emo kid for life. When you listen to
100%.
it, they help you through so much BS.
Yeah, those songs are insane.
And so just having them in front of me, I was like, keep it cool, keep it cool. It was so
I
hard.
had the worst interaction with a famous person last week.
Oh, please tell me.
You know Charlie Puth?
Yes, yeah.
So, so bad. We were in London. We'd just done a radio interview, and he was just going in to do a radio interview.
Okay.
And I saw him, and I was like, "Oh, that's Charlie Puth." And like, I'm a massive Charlie Puth fan. Voice Notes is a great album. And I was like, "Oh, I really want to go say hi." And you were like, "You should go say hi." And rather than do the normal thing of going up and being like, "Hey, dude, really big fan of music. I also make music. Cool." I just went up to him, and we have the same management company, right?
Okay.
So I just went up to him, and I didn't say hello. I just went, "You're managed by Joe. So am I."
That's what you spewed out right away.
And he just kind of went,
And he went,
cool. And his security guard was like, see ya.
Oh my gosh.
and then I was
It was
like,
amazing.
"Oh my God, what did I just do?"
It was amazing.
It was so
I
bad.
just stood
I'm
back
so
and watched
aggressive.
it
You're managed by
implode.
Joe, so am I. He was like, "Cool."
he just watched it all
Yeah, it was
unfold.
great. I was just standing back.
I
And I
didn't
actually
say
said,
I'm in
sorry.
a band. Yeah, you said,
Oh my God.
Sorry,
I'm
no.
sorry.
Jeez, man. Yeah.
Have you ever had one of those moments as well?
I tend to either not do it, or if I'm in a good place, I met, you'll like this, Jimmy from Jimmy Eat World.
Oh, awesome.
And Jim Atkins.
Right.
And I met him at a festival recently. And
Very
I kind
cool.
of melted, but I kept it together.
Right.
I was like, you write some of my favorite songs.
Right,
in a non-creepy way. He did get straight into a car straight away.
Oh,
I was
no.
like, see ya.
Bye out the window.
Yes. You know, he's a cool guy.
It's such a gratifying feeling when you do meet people and they end up actually being cool.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's like, I'm sure the same way. Like when you meet fans, you want to have that takeaway because I'm sure not every single meeting when you were a kid or growing up, it's like you don't want to leave that impression on somebody.
Yeah.
That's not
It's
positive.
important. Yeah, 100%.
I'm more worried about fans meeting me if that's how I respond to Charlie Puth. So I'm just worried that someone's going to come to me like, "Hey, you're in the band I want." I'll be like, "Yeah, I am. Yeah." Like freak someone out. So I'm more worried about them than me.
Right.
But yeah, that's hard. It's happened once before, I remember, and it's stuck with me. We played a show in a city, and we were we left the venue, and we'd had such a long day, and I hadn't slept, and I was really ill, and I just said hello to 50 fans
Right.
at the back door, and I was getting on the bus, and then there were these kids that were I don't know, really far away behind a railing, and they were like, Josephine, and I just went, "Hey, I need to go to bed," kind of thing. And then
Yeah.
I just saw this comment on Instagram from this girl that was like, "She was so rude, she didn't come over and
Oh.
say hello," and I was like, "Oh my God, no." I felt
You have to always be on. That's the trouble.
you do, and it's
Yeah.
hard because I was
People
in my head,
remember.
I was like, I've just said hello to 50 people
Right.
and done a show and done all this stuff. But so yeah, you can't have an off day, which is fine. It's fine. That's part of the job, right?
I like how she says that,
It's fine,
kind of with the
right?
tinge of it being.
It's fine.
It's not
question mark.
fine. It's not fine. Well, here on the website, I not only have the pleasure of interviewing musicians, but also wrestlers. So I have to ask. Ooh, I like your face there. Ooh.
You interview wrestlers.
I do.
When did that happen?
After I interviewed you guys for the first time, I've been doing it for about 2 years now. So
So cool.
Why wrestlers?
so
Oh my
much
God,
fun.
wait, this is so cool.
I like how the interview was
Yeah,
turned.
it's changed. Why wrestlers?
I've been a fan since I was a kid because of my dad. And then once the music stuff kind of got big enough, he said, "Why don't you try interviewing wrestlers? Best of both worlds." Tried it. It hit it off with my fans, and I just kept with it. So
Oh
Boom.
my God.
It is
that's
so fun.
cool. Do you talk about wrestling predominantly or all kinds of things?
all kinds of things. Yeah. It's funny because I find when you interview bands, it's like, sure, you have to put over their music, but it's kind of like sometimes the last thing they want to talk about. They enjoy talking about hobbies and stuff. So when it comes to wrestlers, we don't talk about matches, we'll talk about their lives, like the more, music. So they cross over a lot.
That's so cool.
But what I want to ask you two is if you were to have an in-ring persona, what would it be?
Oh, mate. That's a sick question.
What, a name? Do we have to give it a name?
Names, moves, whatever you guys want to look like. You can get as deep into it as you want.
God, I wish I'd prepared. I could have made myself a poster.
A poster?
And I had some flyers.
Imagine you wrestling.
Hey.
And would you want to be singles or tag team?
Definitely singles. Are you kidding?
I'd thrash you, though.
You wouldn't.
I would.
I just hold your head like this.
We play a game every time. Oh my god! Every time we get, this is really weird that I'm saying this, but every time we get into a hotel room, me and Anne have a game where we have to try and get the other one on the bed, like push them. So we actually wrestle every time we walk into a hotel.
It's not wrestling when you lose every time.
Yeah, well, I've never won. I've never won because even when I think I've got you, you just spring around and slam me on there.
One day.
That's why you're not in my tag team. You'd lose. You'd make me lose.
Yeah. I was about to say your name should be Bed Wrestler, but I think that's
that makes you sound like a prostitute, which is fine.
Which is also fine, though.
It's also fine.
Yeah.
What would you be called? I'll be called the Bed Wrestler.
The Bed Wrestler.
I would. My vibe would be. Oh, actually, I would say I would be, regal to time with our album. So I would have like a crown. I'd be wearing like a hot purple, like tiny little thing with some little shorts. I'd have like a 6-pack. My biceps would be raging.
Right.
Yeah, that would be my vibe.
What would your name be?
Queen
Chokeslam.
Queen Chokeslam.
Queen Chokeslam bitch.
Yeah, sick.
No,
but bitch is. I'm
And like an empowering.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you. That's what I was after.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Those are some.
Queen Chokeslam bitch. Nice to meet you.
I can't wait to see these in action. I really can't. Next time around, a year
100%.
from now.
We'll see you in the ring.
Right.
Can you wrestle?
No.
Oh, okay.
Never tried because I see all my friends come out after these matches with like bruises and cuts, and I'm like, no thanks. I'll stick to the other side. I'm in ring like announcing and hosting and stuff, but I'll keep it to that.
Sick. That's so cool that you're into wrestling.
Those are good names.
Yeah. What's yours? Do you have one?
Well, I'm my kind of moniker is the interview queen because I've done
You're
like
a queen
4,000. Right? Look
There
at
you
us.
go. Royalty.
Queens. You're a bed
Queens
wrestler.
and bed wrestler.
Hey, leave me alone.
Honestly made my day. That's so good.
I love it. I feel like that's just like the perfect note to end on.
Yeah.
I love
Nothing else to say.
I love catching up with you two.
Yeah, it's so nice to see you.
great
Thanks
to
for
see
having
you.
us.
Oh, thank you so much for coming back, and congratulations on the forthcoming album.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And to everybody viewing, this has been Oh Wonder. I am Alicia Atout. Be sure to check out aliciaatout.com for all exclusive interviews and features. We'll see you next time.